Let's talk about the Queen. And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I'm going up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on this video. I just wanted to do a small video that actually really talked about a few things that went on today on the Grammys that I felt I needed to talk about. One being Beyonce and her performance. Two, the whole situation with Adele and Adele in general throughout the night. And three, Bruno Mars and the Times tribute to Prince. So I had a few things to say, so let's get to it. Queen Bee looked absolutely spectacular. She looks absolutely beautiful. Her stage show, naturally beautiful. She performed two of her songs, the slower songs from her Lemonade album. I have to say, um, the stage aesthetic was perfect. It was perfect. The best thing in the full number was the leaning back chair. That whole thing was very scary, very breathtaking, and it damn looked good. It just looked good. It looked good. It puts you in mind of another version of Janet with Pleasure Principle and Michael with Smooth Criminal, and that whole thing. It it was good. It was good. I thought that was the best part of the number. I thought the holograms went on too long. I found myself during the performance two times. I actually found myself daydreaming during the performance. So I thought the performance went on a little bit too long. I understood where she was going. I understood that she was talking about the generations. You have three generations of girls. She kept showing Blue Ivy, and she showed her mama Tina and herself, and then she's pregnant with these twins. All of that, I understood all of that. It was all very nice, but it was just too long. It was too long, and it really was teeter-tottering on boring. And I know that's going to upset some people. Hey, this is just my opinion. This is what I saw. But again, she looked beautiful. She looked beautiful. And I have already said that I was tired of the dress, the sheer dress with the beading. Well, guess what? She actually got a pass. She got a pass because she did it and she's actually pregnant with a set of twins. And she looked just as beautiful in it as she did when she didn't have anything in her belly, not even a ham sandwich. So I've literally given her a pass on the sheer dress with the beading. You look gorgeous. You looked absolutely gorgeous. I was impressed. I was impressed with what she has going on. I was completely impressed with what she did. I just thought that the number was just a little bit too long. That's all. But other than that, Queen Bee, girl, you still up there. You are undeniably that girl. Undeniably. And I don't think there's ever going to be a time when she gets on stage and disappoints. It's just not going to happen. It was definitely not a disappointment. It just went on a little bit too long. But other than that, it was definitely done in Beyonce fashion. It was fabulous. It was fabulous. Just a little too long. All right. You guys tell me what you think down in the comments. All right. So, what did you guys think of the Bruno Mars Prince tribute? We had the time for the Grammys. We had the time came out. Okay, that was a given. It was all right. I mean, it's the time, so naturally, cool. Bruno Mars. I'm gonna have to say, musically, very well done, very tasteful, very respectable. But the whole time, something was missing. And I kept sitting and I kept looking and I kept watching. I kept saying, something is missing. What is it that is missing? And I'm watching him. I mean, he has the outfit and he has the stage show is very much Minneapolis in the mid 80s. Everything was right in place. And I kept saying, something's missing. Something's missing. And as I got to the end of the performance, it hit me the thing that was missing. Bruno Mars is not sexy. The one thing about Prince, even through all his androgyny and all of that, Prince was sexy to men and women alike. That was what that's the thing that was missing. So it just didn't come through because the sexy wasn't there. But other than that, musically, Bruno Mars knocked it out of the park. But aesthetic wise, it didn't really work for me. And I still have to go back and say, I thought that the job that Bilal actually did on BET was better than what Bruno Mars did on the Grammys. But not taking anything away from Bruno, it was respectable. It was nice. But the thing that was missing was the sex appeal. There's no sex appeal there. Not the type of sex appeal that Prince actually used. Bruno doesn't have that. So, other than that, it was what it was. That's what I think. So, you guys put it down in the comments and tell me what you thought about Bruno Mars and the Times tribute to Prince on the Grammys 2017. Here's a small piece of messy shit that actually went on with the Grammys. Now there was this whole situation where they ran a clip where they were paying homage to people who had been awarded the Grammy Lifetime Awards. And they were going through all the people, and then they screwed up, honey, and they said Shirley Caesar, but flashed performance pictures of CeCe Winans. Really? Really? Get your shit together. Get your shit together. Stupid mistakes like this, it's just ridiculous. And then you wonder why people get all bent out of shape. Because the Grammys, you don't have the luxury of making those type of mistakes. CeCe Winans and calling her Shirley Caesar, get on. For a moment, can we talk about Adele's tribute to George Michaels? For me, this was one of the most monumental things that actually went on during the Grammys. Adele, I'm a fan. So we'll start right there. I'm a fan. Adele is a person that actually she lives in her emotions. We know that about her from the time that we've been on the scene watching her. She lives in her emotions. So the whole thing with her doing the song Fast Love, and then people were saying she messed up. I don't know that you just say she messed up. It wasn't going the way that she planned for it to go. She changed the arrangement of the song a little bit. She was doing something special for the memory of George Michael. Now you have to understand who George Michaels is in the UK. It's not like George Michael is something different in the UK than he was over here in the United States. He's big. He was big. It was somebody big. So it was a great loss. So she had really put a lot of time, effort, and thought into what it was that she was doing. And it wasn't going properly. And one of the boldest things I've ever seen is to stop on a show as she uses the Grammys and say, I demand, not I'm asking you, I demand to start again. And then go through, and she did it. And when it was over, she brought the people not only to their feet, but brought them to tears as well. So it was completely worth it that she actually started over. I had no problem with it. I thought it showed an extreme amount of humility. I always say when people are singing at funerals and different things like that, I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do it. There's no way if I was a singer that I could deliver the perfect performance and my loved one is laying in a box. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't stand under that pressure. So I thought it showed a huge amount of humility. And then just throughout the night, different things that she did just showed you that she is undeniably um, just normal and very humble. The whole thing, she won Album of the Year, and she stood on stage and said, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this. I can't even accept this. And then she continued on to tell you why she felt as though Beyonce should have won that award. How many people do you know who would have actually stood there and did that and be that honest and that transparent? Anything bad being said about Adele, about these awards, and there will be things that'll be all over the internet. Whoever said, shame on you. Shame on you. When she won Song of the Year, she stood there and she told Beyonce how much she loved her and how much she looked up to her. She wasn't kissing up to her. She was just speaking her piece. And she was cool with the fact that she had beat her for Song of the Year. But when it came to Album of the Year, she didn't feel like that. She did not feel that. She did not feel the win was deserved. And how many people do you know who have the humility to say, I don't feel as though I really won this award? How many people do you know who would have stood on the Grammy stage and said that? Man, hats off to Adele. It made me like her even more. Even more. I think she's a class act. Those are my feelings. My video, my channel, my feelings.